Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Steve with my audio stuff, and I think I have another treat for most of you. I'm just going to show you every little bit of audio equipment that I own, and this is one of them. These are probably some of the finest, yeah, I mean it, finest headphones I've ever come across. These are PLTs. I've had these things for about 3 years. I got them on Amazon on sale, I think, for about 140 bucks. And I think they were regularly over $200. And I believe that these are still being produced. These are either wired, because you can plug these into your stereo via the 1/8-inch jack on the bottom, and the other one is a charging jack and also information jack, or you can use these as Bluetooth headphones, and that's basically what they were made to do primarily. And I pair these things most of the time with my Apple iPhone. And these have to produce some of the best audio I think I have ever heard from headphones. I know some people are going to laugh at me on this, but I usually have these hooked, as I said, to my iPhone, and then what I do is I use VLC Player. That's, a universal open source player. It'll play most anything you can throw at it: MP3, 192s, 320s, 256s, FLAC, Windows Media, you name it. And what I do, I've said this previously, but I have a huge music collection, and I have most of it on my server in my house. So anywhere I am, I have these files shared, and because of that, I can download them in their original state. MP3 320s are what most of them are, but I have some FLACs as well. And I download the file itself onto my phone and then play it through my VLC player, and then it streams, of course, to these particular headphones. And the VLC player has a built-in EQ, so I can set it up as if I were at a stereo with actual tone controls. And I have to say that I am impressed with these headphones. The specs on these, I'm not sure exactly what these are. Obviously, the audio that is being played is being converted by the digital circuitry on these headphones, and then, of course, converted into analog and played through them. But I think these sound almost as if they have 24-bit DACs in them. I might be wrong on that, but whatever they have, they do an excellent overall job of reproducing audio. I have a lot of amplifiers and things like that, but I'm hard-pressed to find headphones, and really even the amplifiers, capable of producing bass as clearly as these things do. Some of you maybe are old enough, maybe most of you aren't, to be alive during the big DC amplifier craze of the late 70s. It started, I think, around 1970, maybe late 77, and then continued into the early 80s, where DC amps were all the rage, and those were primarily just, receivers or integrated amps that didn't have any, or more or less had a lot less coupling capacitors in the various stages, and so the lows all of a sudden were very clear, and they were amplifiers that could produce from DC or 0 hertz all the way up to 150,000 hertz, but they gave you really clear lows with high frequency precision, lows that were really tight, lows to where you could hear the crack of the bass drum, and you could hear the individual strings on a bass guitar. I mean, it was just really a very needed upgrade for most amplifiers. But all I can say about these headphones, or one of the things, is that they produce low frequency material like that. Very tight, very well defined. I had for years, and I'm being crass here, listened to Nancy Sinatra's, these boots are made for walking. What a song, right? Like 1966. And there's an electric bass. Actually, there's there's a standard bass and then an electric bass in that song. And the electric bass was always kind of blurry, even on my high-end stereo equipment. But when I listened to it through these headphones, it is all of a sudden clear and defined, and that's all I can say. And these are the only phones that'll do that. And that's not only a testimony to the DACs or digital circuitry and the amplifiers, the analog amplifiers in these things, which I think process a lot of the low frequency content the way DC amplifiers do. But it also has to do with the drivers in these, the actual speaker headphone drivers in these particular phones. I don't really have anything negative to say about these things. You can take phone calls with them and it'll operate in full duplex operation. You can just put your iPhone in your shirt pocket or pants pocket and just walk around and have full conversations with people with these headphones on. They also have noise canceling circuitry, which is superb. It works really excellently without hammering away at any of the audio that goes through these. If you're listening to your high-end audio files like MP3 320s or FLACs, Windows Media, lossless files, and you get a phone call, it'll ring through these phones, and if you hit this button, it's actually the whole thing on the side, it'll pick up the call. Other features of these, obviously, you can fast forward, you can play, you can pause. There's a little ring here that you can rotate, which ups or lowers the volume. This, of course, is the main power switch to turn them on and then pair with your Bluetooth device. You can mute the microphone in this. Again, this is the noise canceling circuitry. It's always on as a rule. If you turn it all the way up, it shuts the circuitry off and turns external microphones on in these so that you can hear everybody around you as you walk around. But these are excellent headphones. PLTs. Again, not sure what the specs are. They're at least 20 to 20. Nothing negative to say about this or these particular headphones. They're still making them. The pads are the only things that I've had to replace, and they snap off. And then you can get new ones on Amazon for maybe, I don't know, $15. That'll last another 2-3 years like these. But I've gone hiking with these. I've worked on cars with these. I've done serious critical audio listening with these. But these are probably close to, what would they be? The Bose headphones, the Bose Bluetooth noise canceling headphones. I haven't had an opportunity to listen to those, but these I'm sure are right where they are at an even cheaper price. But if you're going to get wireless headphones, and yeah, they look kind of dorky because they're, kind of big and things like that, but if you're past the age of machoism and all that nonsense, which you can't take to your grave anyway, and just want a good set of Bluetooth headphones that I think also have excellent internal amplifiers, analog amplifiers, and really excellent DACs and sampling, digital electronics inside them, as well as really excellent analog speaker drivers. I don't know what these things are, but they are. They're excellent. I really encourage people to get these. PLTs, you can plug them into your computer, do firmware updates, all that stuff with them. These are awesome headphones, and I think you can still pick them up on Amazon. Well, that's about it. If you have any questions, obviously you can send me little messages through my YouTube and or Rumble sites. And if you're interested too, I have another site that I have a link to on this site as well. It's called A Father's Devotions. You can check that out. Well, once again, this is Steve with My Audio Stuff. God bless you all.